Pillsbury Doughboy. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you're having a great weekend. I apologize that it's been so long since I've been live. It's been pretty busy, but I wanted to make sure and get you guys another live. So today we're going to be doing a Couture project, and this one is actually going to be with our The Witches In or The Witches Out transfer. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm really happy that you're here. If you haven't liked my page, please do so, and please share the video or give me a like if you feel like it. So thanks so much, and we'll get started and have some fun here. So this is our transfer. It's The Witches In. You can see there's The Witches Out and The Witches In. So if you're not familiar with Couture, I did do one other project when I first got my starter kit because I am a designer for Couture. And what they are is they're reusable adhesive silkscreen transfers. And we have our Couture paste, and there's also our these are the Chalkology paste, and then there's also the Couture inks. So a lot of fun things that you can do with these products and these transfers. So that's a lot of fun. Just tuck my cord under here so I don't hit it too much. So today I've been trying to figure out some fun things that we could do with this transfer, and I found this this board at Michael's, and it's double-sided. So what I thought I'd do with it is put The Witches In on one side of it and put The Witches Out on the other side. And actually this is inspired by some of the other Couture designers that I've seen on Facebook. So they kind of gave me the idea to use this surface, and then I'm gonna just put my own signature on it. My other idea was I had gotten this board at Hobby Lobby, and I think, you know, maybe not on a live, but I'll go ahead and do this transfer on this one as well, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. But we'll do that another day. I'm going to use this transfer or this surface today. So I just wanted to give you guys another idea. And with this one, the really cool thing is, you know, I would put The Witches In, put the broom on there, and then I could use these chalkable chips that Couture sells. And they're just, you know, double-sided circular chips that you can chalk on, and I would put in on one of them and put out on the other, and then maybe put a little piece of Velcro or a magnet on here, and then you could just change that out as you see fit, you know, depending on your mood, I guess. If the witch is you, or if, you know, you're having a party for Halloween or whatever the case may be. So we're going to use this today, and as you can see, this is a little awkward. So what we're going to do is actually take it apart so we can chalk on it, and I'm going to take the tag off here. If you're interested in getting one of these, or if you have another project you want to do, I purchased this one at Michael's, and they're $19.99 regular price, but today anyway, they had a 40% off of their fall, and it is considered a fall product. So I'm just going to unscrew the top here so that we can get this board off and chalk on it. Anybody do anything fun this weekend?
Lourdes says hi. Jessica Cornet just joined.
Hi Lourdes. Hi Jessica. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a fun live today. Okay. So I have the surface now, and it's going to be a little bit easier to work with. Oh good, that comes off too. Hopefully I can get that put back on there, right? We'll have fun putting it together later. That's the next part. So I have most of my chalk paste ready, and the colors we're just going to do those kind of on the fly, but one of the colors that I wanted to use is Marigold. So this is our Marigold color. It's really pretty, orange-yellow color. And then Grape Soda, which is a really pretty purple color for Halloween. So we're going to use those. And then Kiwi is one of our in vogue colors. And there are 4 in vogue colors. And what that means is that once these colors are sold out, they won't be available anymore. So this is just one of those in vogue colors. And then I'm not sure if we'll use this one or not, but I really love this color and I thought it went really well with these others, so I pulled it out just in case. This is Peacock. It's a beautiful color. It's just gorgeous. And then I also have my white here. And like I said, I've opened most of these and already stirred them and made sure the consistency was good, but I left this marigold one so that we could do that together and you could see. When you get them new, they have foil on them if it's the newer formula. Some of the whites still are the old formula and do not have that foil on them, so there's that. But there's nothing wrong with it. Excuse me. It might come a little bit drier and you have to add a little water to it the first time. But that's the great thing with these pastes. They have a shelf life of a year and a little bit goes a long way. So, you know, the next time you use it, it might be a little dry. You just put a little bit of water in it and you're good to go. These foils are a little bit difficult to get off though. It would be nice if they put some tabs on here. I thought I had this started so that it'd be easier for me during the live, but apparently I didn't do a very good job. Okay, I use my scissors. So this is our multi-purpose tool, and this I really love this tool. It didn't come in the starter kit, but I did order it on my own because I wanted it, and it's kind of a hard rubber, but it's flexible and it's really good at stirring the paste up. So this is that marigold color.
Bev says that Pat and I went to Nashville yesterday.
Oh, that sounds fun. Did you guys find any good buys? They have so many pretty things there. Yesterday was hot, wasn't it? It was still hot yesterday? Or was it cooler?
No, it was cooler yesterday.
Okay, so you might have seen some paste on my hands already. Yeah, that's because I got really messy opening these. That's the bad part. But, you know, once you do that the first time, the foil's not there anymore. And hopefully I'll find an easier way to do that so I don't get so messy every time. But keep baby wipes handy, you'll be good. I bought mine in bulk on Amazon because I knew that I was going to be needing them for my lives. So, okay. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well, but when you first open them, sometimes the pigment isn't totally distributed. And that's okay. You just always, every time you use your chalk paste, especially when it's brand new, you always want to stir it up after you open it. This one's just a little bit thicker than what some of the other ones are when they come, but you want a nice yogurt consistency. And I think this one will work fine. If it was any thicker, I'd add a little bit of water, but I think it's going to be okay.
We had rain, cloudy skies, and a high of about 65.
Oh, that's nice fall shopping weather. I always love fall in Little Nashville. I don't go there as often as we should. Okay, so that's all of them except for my white. I went ahead and I left it so I could show you guys. This one looks a little thick to me, and I had already used it in the last, oh no. Okay, so I had a little bit of orange left on my tool, and I did get it in my white. I'm going to try to get a little bit of that out of there so I'm not mixing it up. So you want to make sure, and you know, ideally I would have more multi-purpose tools, or you know, more, you can use the little plastic makeup applicators. Those work really well. I wouldn't use anything wooden because the wood absorbs the moisture in your paste and you don't really want that. But I got most of that yellow out of there, so we're good. You just don't want to mix your colors. And just as I thought by looking at it, it is a little bit, just a little bit dry. So I'm just going to add just a couple drops of water. Can you see that? This is almost like marshmallow fluff instead of yogurt. So we just want to thin that out just a little bit. And if you're interested in this product, you can go to my shop site, and that'll be posted down below. You can see it down there. I guess, is it this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, down there. So down below, that'll take you to the site, and you can check out all the transfers that we have and all the surfaces. I'm not using a Couture surface today because I did find this really cool board at Michael's that I wanted to use. Put just a little bit more water in there. It's better to add a little bit at a time instead of putting a whole bunch in there. Just in case you get too much, you can always add more. The good thing is if you over add, you know, you do have options. You can just leave it out and let it dry out a little bit. You're not going to ruin it, but you might not be able to use it right away. Okay. And then when you're finished using them, you always want to put your lid back on so it doesn't dry out. I think we're ready to start now. Finally. I need to get some more of these tools so it goes a little bit quicker during my lives. These are really nifty. Do people still use that word? Nifty.
Nifty. It's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. Okay, so I've got my surface here and I've got my chalk paste ready. So I'm going to get my transfer ready now. And this is the transfer, like I said, that we're going to use. It's really cute. So I know I want to use the marigold on the broom here. And there are the strings, you know, that hold the straw on the broom. And then we've got our, oh no. Is this my bark? Ha, that worked out. So I guess I need this, I'm going to use the bark for the broom handle. I think I've used it. Oh, no, I haven't used it. So let's do this one more time. Sorry, guys. I was hoping not to just spend a whole bunch of time with you mixing up chalk paste and opening it, but if I had my nails, this would go a little bit quicker, but I was working on a wreath yesterday and I'm taking a break from my shellac polish, so my nails aren't as strong as they usually are. This one looks like chocolate pudding. Guess I'm on a sweet kick today. Chocolate pudding and marshmallow fluff. That'd be a good combination. Okay. And if you didn't see the picture of the wreath that I made yesterday, definitely go to my page, Craft Me Knots, on Facebook and check it out. I was really happy with how it turned out. I would have loved to have done it as a live, but it was pretty time consuming, so you guys wouldn't have wanted to sit there with me that whole time. But maybe when I do one sometime, we'll be able to do a time lapse or pre-record it and edit it so you guys can see it. Okay. Huh.
Looks like chocolate pudding.
It does look like chocolate pudding, doesn't it? This one's a lot fuller than some of my other ones. I need to find out. I've been seeing some other designers saying that some of their chalk pastes are only half full, and I'm wondering if the other ones I got should have been fuller. I'm fairly new to this, so I'm still learning about some of this stuff too and how things should be. But the Holiday Suite catalog just came out, so there's a lot of new Christmas and holiday transfers in there, and which is really awesome. They've got some really neat ones for Christmas I'm excited about. But I've got some fall ones that we're still going to be working on doing together in our lives that are really cool too. Okay, now I think we're ready to get started. And like I said, these transfers are reusable. So these white lines are cut lines. And what I'm going to do is just cut these out on those lines and make sure I don't have any paint on my scissors from where I used them to open. Okay. And we'll just cut on those white lines. You could use a rotary cutter or whatever you like. Going to use my scissors today. And then since they are reusable, we want to know what they are, and we don't want to lose the backer, the transfer sheet, or the carrier sheet. So I'm just going to write on the back, broom for this one, and that'll tell me not only, you know, what the transfer is, but it also shows me the wrong side of the carrier sheet so I don't stick my transfer to it the next time. And this one is the witch is. Yes, I'm a southpaw for all of those who noticed. Out. And in. Okay, now these are fairly easy to wash, but I don't have a lot of access to water. I'm actually in my basement right now, and there's no sink down here, and I didn't bring anything down here to rinse the transfers. So, you know, normally if I rinsed them and dried them right away, we could do the other side, but I'm just going to do the one side today and then in the live, and then I'll chalk the other side off of the video, and I'll post I'll post in there and let you know, let you see it. Okay, so the broom's a little bit too big for this, but we're gonna fix that because we don't need all of this straw down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna kind of block part of that off, maybe. Oh, well, that's not going to work, is it? Sorry, guys. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to block off just part of that transfer down here at the bottom. And that way when we chalk on it, it's not going to, you know, it won't go through that. But I'm going to wait till I get it on there. This is just, it's called purple tape, and it's like painter's tape, but it's reusable. So it stays sticky, it's reusable. It's really great for crafts. I've used it before in some of my other videos if you've seen that. So, okay. So I don't need this anymore. I've already labeled my transfers. Here's my tape. I'll lose that. Okay, so I have a towel here, and what I'm going to use that for is to fuzz my transfers, because especially when they're brand new, they're very, very sticky, and we don't want that to stick too hard to the surface because we won't be able to get it off. And if you're doing a transfer that has a lot of layering, you also don't want to pull up any of the paste from the layers underneath. Let's see. I also just realized that I didn't get my hairdryer ready. to do that with you guys in just a minute. I'm not layering anything, but I am placing things pretty close together, so I might be able to get away with not using the hairdryer. But if you were layering, or if you were placing transfer on top of another transfer, you would definitely want to use that hairdryer. Okay. And these adhesives, they are a material, so they can stretch. They do have a bias, and you never want to pull them diagonally. You always want to pull them from the side or up and down. And I always like to pull the carrier sheet away from the transfer rather than pulling the transfer away from the carrier sheet. And these they can stick to themselves, so you just want to really keep that from happening, because if it sticks to itself, you have to get it wet, and then, you know, you're going to have to dry it, and you have just a lot more stuff going on. Okay, so I'm just going to fuzz this a couple times. We want it to still be sticky enough to stick to the surface, but we don't want it to be so sticky that you can't get it off. So fuzzing is very important. Use my fun pumpkin towel for the fall. Okay. I think I want my broom to be over here on this side. And you want to be very careful not to get any bubbles in the transfer, in the silkscreen area. If you have bubbles on the teal part, it's okay, because we're not chalking there. And actually, I'm going to pull this tape up until I get done with that so I can see. And then I have one of the small squeegees here, and I'm just going to use that to make sure it's down. I don't have any bubbles. All right. If you guys have any questions about this product, or just any questions in general, feel free to put those in the chat and we'll get them answered for you. All right, I think I'm going to put my tape right there, because I want a little bit, well, maybe I'll move it down just a little bit. There. I want a little bit of a gap from the bottom. I don't want it to look like the broom's just going right into the bottom of my sign. So, all right. Let's go ahead and chalk this one. So I do want to use the marigold for the straw, and I want to use the bark for the handle of the broom. I think I want the words "the witch is" to be in this purple right here. We'll do that there. And then maybe I want those in white. Let's do the purple on the broom. How does that sound? I don't know. What do you think, Nesto?
I think the words in white are cool. Maybe the in and out could be a different color.
Okay. Like, yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to go with my brown here, and a little bit of chalk paste goes a long way, so I'm just going to get some on here. And actually, I could have used my multi-tool for this, but I'm just going to put some on here. And I don't need any in the spots where I'm not, where there's no silk screen, so I don't have to worry about that area. Okay. And I'm just going to leave that there for a moment, because the chalk paste can dry in the transfer. And if I leave it a little bit thicker, I have a little bit better chance of getting it out. So I have my marigold here, and there's some straw up here. And some straw down here. And I also could have mixed colors. That would have been pretty cool if I would have used like another color of yellow in with the straw. Maybe I'll show you guys. I kind of did that technique last time when I was trying out the transfer that I did from my starter kit. So I'm just getting all those little straws with my marigold here. There's a little bitty one right there next to the handle. It's a little bit harder to get. This piece I'm using here is I've just cut one of the small squeegees in half. It just makes it a little bit easier to get in there. Okay. And then I think I'll use this kiwi color for I thought this was a little piece of straw, but I think it's okay. I think it's part of the string, so I'm actually going to go back over it with this kiwi. And the cool thing about Couture is this paste, it goes on wet and it dries hard. So when it's dry, we'll be able to run our hands over it and it's not going to come off. But we could also take it off with water. So if we weren't happy with it or if we wanted to do something else, we could just take it off with water. So I'm just going to get the excess that's not close to everything else that I can put back into the jar off. And then I'm going to get this part right here is kind of together with everything else. I'm not going to put that back in there because it's kind of mixed with that other color. And then I can go back with my marigold here and pull this off. You just pull that away. I kind of went underneath of that transfer or that purple tape a little bit, I think. So I might have to touch it up after, but that's okay. We can do that. And then here's my brown, my bark. So I'm just running my squeegee down, pulling the rest of that off. And that's all of it. So now I'm ready to peel and reveal. Let's see what it looks like. I'll pull from the bottom, it'll be a little bit easier. You guys see that? Oh, look how cool that looks. Uh-oh. I think it dried in there. Oh no.
Don't put it back.
I can't. It's dried in there. Well, we'll touch that up in a minute. That's the first time that's happened to me, guys, so bear with me. I'm still learning. So you can see where there's little pieces where the paste didn't come through. I got to talking and it kind of got stuck in there, but it looks a little bit cool. It looks a little bit rustic, but if I hadn't pulled it up all the way, I could have put it back down, and putting fresh paste on it would have reactivated it and it made it wet again, and then I could have pulled it back off. Most of it down here is really good. I could probably, if I had a little paintbrush, touch up just a little bit right here where it didn't come off. But the top, I probably shouldn't have started up there because there's a lot less surface area, so it dried before I got everything at the bottom done. But we'll go ahead and move on to everything else, and then I can fix that later. You could always, the easiest way to fix it is you could always just wash your transfer and then dry it really well. Put it back on there, or I could just use this baby wipe or some water and wipe it right off and reapply it and then just do it over. But just for the sake of time in this video, And have the fact that I would have to wash the transfer, I'm not going to do that. You guys get the idea of the handle, and I think it looks kind of cool, actually. It's a magic broom. Okay. It's a little bit easier when you're only doing one color with these. The other stuff gets it's a little harder. Takes practice, is what I'm trying to say. But practice makes perfect, right? You figure out what works and go with it. I think that brown was also a little bit drier than what it should have been, so that contributed as well. All right. And that brown is pretty dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do the letters that are up here. I think we'll be okay with that. So again, I'm going to peel the carrier sheet away from the transfer. I'm going to fuzz it. Is anyone dressing up for Halloween? And put in the comments what you're going to dress up as. That'll be fun. I'm going to be Winifred Sanderson this year. I'm super excited. I kind of was last year. I had the wig and I had the cape, but now I have the dress and a necklace, so that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So just put this right here. And I want it to be fairly straight. And make sure you don't have any bubbles in your silkscreen area. Okay, I think I'm good. And like I said, I'm going to do this in white. Where'd my multi-tool go? The multi-tool is really good for putting paint on. Make sure we don't get any more of any other colors in that white. I need a white tool that's exclusively for my white. Okay, so I'm just gonna, a little bit goes a long way. So we'll just put this on here. And that should be good. Okay. And then I can use my squeegee that I haven't cut because it's pretty big. And I'm just gonna go over that. See, I barely put any on there and I still have quite a bit that I'm gonna take off. I think I got all of it. I'm gonna put the rest of that back in there. Okay, and then we'll peel that off. If I can get a hold of it. All right, let's see this one. I love the reveal, it's so cool. Look at that. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that, guys. So I'll put that over there. It's curling up on me a little bit, but look how neat that is. Let me pull that down a little bit. There we go. See? And you can see I've got just a little tiny bit of white where I went past the edge of my transfer. And it's so easy to fix because all I have to do, I could use a Q-tip and a little water, but I'm just going to use there's hardly any on there, and I'm just going to use this little corner of this baby wipe, and that's all I have to do to get it off.
Sarah Offenberg says hi.
Hi, Sarah. It's so awesome to see you. Thanks for watching. Nesta, we have a low battery on this computer over here. I might want to get that plugged in. I don't know if you're using it for the switcher.
No, just for the preview.
Oh, okay. All right. So like I said, I need to wash the transfer, so I can't do both sides on the live. I'm just going to do the one side, and then I'll do the other side and post that. Let's see. We'll decide which side we want that to be. I think I want this side to be the in, or maybe we'll just do the out. This is dry. And see, it's dry. I can rub my hand over it like this, and nothing comes off. So, you know, you're not going to, it's not like regular chalk where it's going to come right off. But if you wanted to change your design and reuse your surface, like if you did a fall transfer and then Christmas rolled around and you wanted to use the same surface, you could just wipe it off and redo it. And then, you know, next year when fall rolls around, if you haven't used your transfer so much that it's not usable, then you can redo the whole thing over again. You can get about anywhere from 8 to 20 uses out of each transfer. So that's really awesome if you're making signs to sell or whatever the case may be. So you can, you know, reuse those the next year as well if that's what you're using them for. Or making gifts. Let's see. I think I want to do this one in purple. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. And again, I want to fuzz it. And if you're just joining, we just fuzz it so that when they're brand new or fairly new, you don't want it to stick too hard to your surface where you can't peel it off, or if it takes any paste off of it from a layer underneath. So I'm just going to put this on here like this. Make sure there's no bubbles in there. It's no fun when you get a bubble because that paste kind of seeps up underneath it there. And it's easy to fix because we can just wipe it off and redo it, but it's more fun if you just, you know, don't do it.
Sarah says she's never seen anything like this before.
Sarah, I hadn't either, and I found it through watching YouTube. One of the crafters that I watch uses it, and they actually use Switcher Studio as well. And then I kind of found some other people that do it as well. The company is actually only a year old, but I thought it looked so fun and neat that I'd never even touched it when I decided I wanted to sell it. And they have great, really great discounts. So even if you're just a hobbyist and you want to do this on your own and not sell it, it's really easy to meet your quota, but you also get a 40% discount. So you really can't beat it because it's really great for selling finished products. I could crank out 10 of these with the same transfer and hardly use any paste and be able to sell them, for quite a bit more than what I spend on materials. So that's really awesome. And if you wanted it to be permanent, you could spray seal it, and that would kind of make it permanent. But if not, you can just wash it off. Or if you're not wiping it very much, it doesn't have to be sealed in order for it to stay. That's the great thing. And then the inks, they just need to be heat set, and they are permanent. So you could use them on mugs or bowls. They are not certified food safe by the FDA. So you wouldn't want to use them on anything that you're going to be eating out of or drinking out of. But you could use them for decoration. You can use them on fabric. So you put them on a pillow and then use a heat press or an iron, and that sets it in. You can use them on t-shirts. It's a really great product. I think they're awesome. I need to stop talking and get this transfer off of here before the paste dries. I'm going to turn this again just so it's a little bit easier for me to peel off. So I have that purple in there, and I'm just going to grab this. Oh, I love that purple. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but I think it looks cool. How does that look? Let's see. Does that look good?
Yeah.
So the witch is out, and then we would be able to turn it around, and it's basically going to be the same thing, but I'm going to put the witch is in, and then, you know, you could put it on your desk or whatever you want to do. You could just twirl it around depending on how you're feeling that day.
BJ Barnett says, hey, Nikki, cool project.
Hi, BJ. Thanks so much. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing the chalk couture. I haven't dabbled in it enough. I've been trying to save some of the projects so I could show them to you guys, but I finally have some more pastes and some transfers so I can practice off camera and be a little bit better at it. But I can see a little bit of ghosting here. Now I could use another baby wipe and kind of try to get that off. If it's something you can't get off, let's say maybe I leave this on through Halloween and then I decide I want to put something Thanksgiving on it, and I use some water, and I have just a little bit of a ghosting effect where I can kind of see a little bit of that transfer. Chalk Couture has erasers. They're basically like the magic erasers, but they're the dry eraser that you can kind of rub on them, and they work in a similar fashion. So that takes that off really, really well. So I guess I'll go ahead and put this back on here so you guys can see it. It's not technically finished, but I do want you to see it in here on the live, and then I will finish it and take care of that. Now that purple is still wet, so I need to be careful, but normally on the live, if it was a bigger project, I would be drawing these areas for you and showing you those. But for this one, I was able to put the transfers far enough away from each other, and there wasn't as much surface area, so it dried really quickly. But I don't know. I can't see myself, so I don't know what you guys can see, but here's the sign, and then it would just kind of flip around, and you could see the other side. So how fun is that? Are you on me as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have that one, and then we can flip it around, and there's the other side. So what do you guys think? Do you like Chalk Couture? How cool is this stuff? If you want to check it out and see what transfers we have and the surfaces that we have as well, my website is up on the video. So give me a thumbs up or a like, some hearts. Let me know what you think of the project. And if you have any questions about it, put that down there as well. We'll be sure and get those answered for you. You might be able to see behind me. Can you see it? Is that in the picture? So this is our largest board of the Grayson behind me, and I think it retails for $39.99 if I'm not mistaken. I don't have my catalog in front of me, but for the size that it is, I want to say 24 or 26 by 18. That is an awesome deal, because I went to Hobby Lobby and I was looking for surfaces, and for that size of a board, even half price, you were paying about $40. So it's just unreal. And then we have some of the smaller boards as well that work really well for the smaller transfers and gift projects. So those are a lot of fun. But did anybody have any questions?
Sarah says looks good.
Thank you, Sarah.
Cute. And Bev says nice.
Thanks. So it's a lot of fun, and we'll have some more Chalk Couture projects for you guys, and I'll try to do my lives a little bit closer together. Still haven't quite figured out a schedule yet. I do know I won't be going live on Monday nights, but other than that, I don't have a set schedule. I kind of want to do twice a week, but it's just taken me a while to build up projects that I can do and have the supplies to do them for you guys. So, but we'll do them more regularly, and I hope to see you soon. Keep crafting. Bye, everybody.